Okay, so good morning. Time check, it's 6:27 a.m. That's the starting time for this recorded video. So the last recorded video is the chapter 4, no, of the book, that is AM transmission. Okay, so want to review the chapter 4, you can refer to the book of this book, to Masi, and you can parallel, as your base reference for the recorded video in discussion. Okay, so let's proceed with the AM reception. Okay, so these are the objectives, the list. So we will discuss the whole chapter 5. Okay. Now, looking at the figure, okay, this is the simplified block diagram of an AM receiver. Okay. Now, unsa ang demodulation? Okay. Diba modulation, mo review ta from your chapter 1 ninyo. Modulation is the process where the carrier signal, no, carries the information signal, ba? Yeah, and the process of converting from low frequency to high frequency is called frequency up conversion, ba? So AM demodulation, this is the reverse process of AM modulation. Okay. Pag AM, ang tawag sa demodulation, another name for demodulation in AM is called detection. Detection na siya. Pag FM is discriminator. No? So, AM, conventional, okay, AM, it simply converts the received amplitude modulated wave back to the original source information. Sa AM transmission, the target would be the information signal will be combined by the carrier signal. So that is a multiplication operation. Then convert into a conventional AM. Okay, so it is in a high frequency signal na siya. Okay, so for the receiver, so baliktad. So ang high frequency signal will be converted into low frequency signal, which is the original source information. Okay. So it must, no, the receiver must be capable of receiving, okay, amplifying and demodulating AM wave. So that's the purpose of receiver. Receive siya, okay, through the antenna, i-amplify siya through the amplifier, and i-demodulate siya using the demodulator sa AM wave. And also, it must be capable of band limiting the total radio frequency spectrum to a specific desired band of frequency. So band limiting means that is selecting a the required or the desired frequency. No, that's the meaning of the band limiting. So this selection process is called tuning the receiver. So when you tune, 'di ba? When you tune the receiver, so you are finding the frequency required, no? Para ma uh, para ma-receive, no? Para ma dungog sa listener, no? That's the purpose of tuning the receiver. Now, so this is the first figure 5-1, no, simplified block diagram of an AM receiver. So ilailahon nato ni sila. Okay, you have here the mixer, no? Wala man. Okay, first is the RF section. Kani. RF section, this is the first stage of the receiver. Okay, this one. Okay, and it is often called receiver front end. Okay, front end meaning siya ang una mo dawat gikan sa antena mismo. Okay? So muna nga front end siya ang frontliner ba? No, that's the meaning that is because nga nga receiver front end ang tawag siya ha. So the primary functions of the RF section are detecting, band limiting, and amplifying the receive RF signals. Dili ra man na kuan mo amplify sa RF, diya ang kuan, diya ang for detection, no? Detecting the RF signal, the band limiting, of course, yan na siyang filter and amplify. Okay. Next, the mixer or converter section. This one. Okay. So, kanisa, it is a filter lang, no? To remove the unwanted frequencies sa katong RF signal. So, mixer or converter section is the function is to convert the received IF frequencies, RF frequencies to intermediate frequency or IF. So from RF to IF. Okay? IF means these are frequencies that fall, no? Somewhere between the RF and the information frequencies. Mo gitawag nga intermediate. Okay? So frequency siya that falls in the either in the range between the RF or information frequency. Okay? So the primary functions of the IF section are amplification. Okay? So mata sa mixer, agi siya bandpass filter, na po'y IF section. So ang IF section nimo amplification of selectivity. Okay? So, selectivity means filtering, no? So, i-amplify niya kay it needs a additional gain kay pag-abot sa audio section sa speaker, dili na matungog. Okay? Now, next is the AM detector. AM detector is to demodulate the AM wave and converts it to the information original information signal. Ang AM detector is somewhat similar to a low pass filter. Okay? Ang sa AM detector kay yang tangtangon ang high frequency ang carrier para mabilin uh, ang information signal or ang baseband signal. Okay. Then once na ma-convert, ma-demodulate, okay? So, agi pag bandpass filter to filter some unwanted frequencies sa imuhang baseband signal, no? Katong na recovered. And the audio section means to amplify, okay? Amplification na siya then agi sa speaker. Okay? So that is the simplified block diagram of AM. Now, let's proceed for the receiver parameters. Okay. In receiver parameters, naalay pinaka-highlight nga ang parameters nga i-involve sa receiver. Pinaka-importante kayo. These are the selectivity and sensitivity. Kay mo man ni ang basis, no? This will be these are the bases to know nga this receiver is a good radio receiver. Okay? Dapat mag-partner gina ang duha. Unsaon nimo na ang sensitivity kung you have a poor selectivity. Unsaon po na nimong good sensitivity if you have poor selectivity sa imong receiver. So it should be paired to each other. Okay. Now, unsa man na ang selectivity? Okay, selectivity is a receiver parameter that is used to measure the ability of the receiver to accept a given band of frequencies and reject all others. Okay? So it is a filtering. So kung sa receiver, so if you have the signal, dili man na siya ingon direct nga i-amplify na yon, then i-modulate. Dili, uh, ang ginabuhat is from the antenna, so agi pa na og filter, then i-amplify, then i-filter pa ganina. So that is the purpose of selectivity. Mo na ang sa imuhang sa AM receiver na anay mga filters diha, the bandpass filter kay para ma-sure nga ang mabilin ra gyud diha is katong required frequency, no, that will be used in the receiving process, or para pag-abot sa speaker pag-abot sa speaker madungog og tarong sa tao, maklaro niya. It means that the signal is an intelligible signal. Okay? So for example, okay, na kay AM broadcast nga transmitter allocated to 10 kilohertz bandwidth. Therefore, for a receiver to select only those frequencies assigned a single channel, the receiver must limit its bandwidth to 10 kilohertz. So 10 kilohertz na siya. Kung greater than 10 kilohertz, wala. Kuan siya, rejected na siya, no? Ano, if the passband is greater than 10 kilohertz, more than one channel may be received and demodulated simultaneously. Okay? Pero if the passband of a receiver is less than 10 kilohertz, okay, portion of the modulating signal information for that channel is rejected or blocked from entering the demodulator and consequently lost. Okay? So, there are several ways to describe the selectivity of a receiver. So, the pinaka-common is to give the bandwidth of a receiver at the negative 3 dB points. So, this bandwidth, however, is not necessarily for a good means of determining how well the receiver will reject the unwanted frequencies. So, it is common na that's why it is common to give the receiver bandwidth at two levels for attenuation. So, naka negative 3 dB o negative 60 dB. Okay? The ratio of those bandwidth is called the shape factor. So, shape factor is defined as the bandwidth at negative 60 dB below and the bandwidth divided by bandwidth at the negative 3 dB below. Okay. So, ang ideal niya is the shape factor is 1. Okay? Pero that is the ideal value. Kay it is impossible to achieve in a practical circuit man. Okay? So, typical AM broadcast radio receiver, so kung nasa negative 3 dB bandwidth of 10 kilohertz niya, naapod siya and a negative 60 dB bandwidth of 20 kilohertz, so the shape factor is 2. Okay. So, pag AM broadcast, ang shape factor ana is 2. Pero pag sophisticated siya, more expensive nga applications like satellite, microwave, and two-way radio receivers, ang shape factor ana mas closer siya sa 1. Okay? Next, we have here bandwidth improvement. Okay? So, take note nga the thermal noise, okay, it is the most prevalent form of noise and it's directly proportional to bandwidth. Yes, diba? If you have from your chapter 1, the noise power is defined as the product between the temperature and the bandwidth. Same also with the noise voltage na, diba? Directly proportional siya sa bandwidth. Therefore, so kung if the bandwidth can be reduced, noise will also be reduced by the same proportion. Okay, so results, it increases the signal to noise power ratio and it improves system performance. Okay, so kung i-reduce nimo ang bandwidth, ma-reduce po ang noise. And pag ma-reduce ang noise, mo taas ang SNR, signal to noise power ratio. Okay? So, a system performance limitation as to how much the bandwidth can be reduced. So, the bottom line is that the circuit okay, the circuit bandwidth must exceed the bandwidth of the signal. Otherwise, the information power and the frequency content of the information signal will reduce, effectively degrading the system performance. So ang meaning lang niya, dapat ang circuitry bandwidth nimo sa receiver dapat mas dako siya per sa bandwidth sa information signal. Okay? So the input, no? The input signal to noise ratio is calculated at the receiver using the RF bandwidth for noise power measurement. However, the RF bandwidth is generally wider than the bandwidth of the rest of the receiver. Okay. So uh, meaning mas dako, no? Mas dako ang RF bandwidth compare sa bandwidth sa tibok na circuitry or tibok receiver na siya. So, reducing the bandwidth is effectively equivalent to reducing, no? Or improving the noise figure of the receiver. Okay? So, nganong gina-basis na siya? Because it is a factor, consideration nga para ma-determine nga ang imuhang receiver is a good system, good receiver siya. You have to compare the bandwidth of your RF and the bandwidth of the whole receiver sa AM. Okay. So the noise reduction, okay? So the noise reduction achieved by reducing the bandwidth is called the bandwidth improvement. Okay. So it means bandwidth improvement defined as the ratio between the bandwidth of the RF and the bandwidth of the IF. Okay. And it could be, it is also in decibel format, that is called noise figure improvement. So, 10 log bandwidth improvement lang nimo. Okay? So, that's the meaning of the bandwidth improvement. So, that is comparing the bandwidth between the RF and the bandwidth of the whole receiver. The bandwidth of the whole receiver is the IF itself. Okay? Next, sensitivity. Okay. Pag moingon ka og sensitivity sa receiver, okay, that is the minimum RF signal level that can be detected at the input to the receiver and still produce a usable demodulated signal in demodulated information signal. Okay. Ang pasabot sa sensitivity is kanang kanang maski pinaka gamay nga signal level sa RF nimo kaya i-detect sa receiver and produce a usable demodulated signal. So that is sensitivity. Kabantay mo anang sa radyo, di ba? Kabantay mo sa radio, when you tune to another station, diba? Diba, nakay ubang radio station is, pag i-tune mo to another frequency, kung may tabo, let's have here 10.5 kilohertz. Pag switch nimo to 10.5 kilohertz, so, naada yun ang radio station. So, ma-receive na automatic. So, that's the meaning of the receiver. Napoy cases po, di ba? Makabantay ka nga pag-switch mo ani nga radio station kay wala man, karat man, wala na dawat. So, sensitivity ang kana nga karakteristik. So, maski pinaka minimum nga RF signal level, so ma-detect gyapon niya sa receiver and can be modulated. Maski gani kuan, maski karat siya, di ba? Makabantay ka sa radyo, naay audio pero naay karat nga palibot. Still that is sensitivity. Okay? So kanang mga karat ana, so that is due to the tuning. So selectivity na po na siya nga issue. So kung ang ginabuhat ana, number one is Kung mo exceed pa ka na, dili na nimo tumadungog. So, ang ginabuhat sa mga naay mga radyo, so practically, so mangita sila area nga where ang katunga station ma-receive, maklaro nila. Having a good reception area. Oh, so that is the essence of sensitivity. Okay? So for commercial, no? Uh, AM broadcast receivers, okay? Later na ko na-discuss na. So generally, no? The SNR, the signal to noise ratio of the power of the signal at the output of the audio section is to are used to determine the quality of the receiver and whether it is usable. So ang SNR, no? Signal to noise ratio. Okay, mo man na ang gina basis to have a good sensitivity sa receiver. Okay? So kato balik ta dito kung naay naay certain cases nga pag mag-switch ka at mag-tune ka to another frequency, di ba? Ma-receive nimo ang katong station, madungog nimo ang tao nga nagstorya pero naay murag karat-karat. Okay. So that is that is the signal to noise ratio na siya nga parameter. So you can so it means nga uy one man ka ng karat man, so it means noisy siya. So poor SNR. Okay? But if you switch to other stations, di ba? Pag switch nimo, di ba? Klaro kayo, walay karat. So that is indication nga good ang yang SNR niya o ang power. It means taas ang sensitivity. No? So that is the purpose mangod of sensitivity. Okay? Selectivity, that is referring to the bandwidth. Okay? Ang sensitivity, that is referring to the signal to noise ratio of power, no? O power of the signal at the output of audio section. Okay? So for commercial AM broadcast band receivers, so a 10 dB or more SNR ratio with 1 half watt or 27 dBm of power at the output of audio section is considered as usable. Okay. Pero pag broadband micro receivers, okay, nasa power nga 5 milliwatts, that is uh, 7 dBm. So that is the minimum acceptable value. Okay. So gamay gani no pag sa sa microwave, 'di ba? But still it is a minimum acceptable value siya. Okay? For the sensitivity of its for the receiver. So the sensitivity of a receiver, they are stated in microvolts of a received signal. So for example, sensitivity of a commercial broadcast band AM receiver, that is 50 microvolts, and two-way mobile radio receiver generally has a sensitivity of 0.1 microvolts and 10 microvolts. Okay. So another name for sensitivity or receiver sensitivity is threshold. Okay? Threshold niya. So that is the amount of voltage na kaya nga madawat no ma-receive ni AM, then ma-demodulate niya kay nga madungog o madungog sa tao, no? O siya kanang dili less ang noise or have a good SNR as ang yang signal to noise ratio. Okay. So the sensitivity of an AM receiver depends on the noise power present at the input of the receiver noise figure, and the sensitivity of the AM detector and the bandwidth improvement of the receiver. Okay. So these are the parameters. So magagad siya sa noise power. Depending on the noise power, the receiver noise figure, sensitivity sa AM detector o sa bandwidth improvement sa receiver. Una ang basis sa sensitivity. Okay. Now, the best way to improve the sensitivity of a receiver is to reduce the noise level. Okay. So this can be accomplished by reducing the temperature of the bandwidth, no? either the temperature or the bandwidth of the receiver, or improving the receiver's noise figure. Okay, so that's the way to improve the sensitivity sa receiver. So either i-reduce ang temperature, no, sa receiver, uh, or uh, reduce the bandwidth. Di ba? Pag mo reduce ka sa bandwidth sa receiver, okay, you have a reduced na noise and improve the receiver noise figure. Okay? Di ba? Noise figure is simply as the ratio between the two SNR, signal to noise power ratio input divided by signal to noise power ratio, signal to noise power ratio at the output. So, that is the sensitivity. So, sa sensitivity, magagad siya between sa power o sa SNR. Yeah. Yeah, those two, SNR o power, output power sa audio section. Muna nga basis para to determine nga high good sensitivity ang receiver. So with the temperature, the bandwidth, and also the receiver's noise figure kay one man directly proportional, they are interrelated man, diba? So that is sensitivity. Now, dynamic range, okay? Pag mo yung kaog dynamic range, that is defined as the dynamic range of a receiver defined as the difference in decibels between the minimum input level to discern a signal and the input level that will overdrive the receiver and produce distortion. Okay? So, simple terms, uh, dynamic range, that is the input power range over which the receiver is useful. Okay. So the minimum receive level, either in terms of power or voltage, that is a function of front end noise figure, ako na i-emphasize, and the desired signal quality. Okay. And then, the input signal level sa dynamic range, that will produce overall distortion, that is a function of the net gain of the receiver. Pag mayroon kag net gain, that is the total gain of all stages in the receiver. Okay? So, if single frequency operation is used, the 1 dB compression point is generally used for the upper limit of usefulness. Okay? So, aning single frequency, so this is determined for the high power limit, no? So the high power limit of a receiver depends uh, on whether it will operate either in the single or multiple frequency input signal. Okay? And then pag mo yung kag 1 decibel or 1 dB compression point, it is defined as the output power when the RF amplifier response is 1 dB less than the ideal nonlinear gain, the ideal linear gain response. Okay? So a dynamic range, okay? A dynamic range of 100 decibels is considered as the highest possible. Okay? Pagbaba ang dynamic range, it can cause desensitizing of the RF amplifiers and result in severe intermodulation distortion of the weaker input signals. Okay? So that is in dynamic range, no? So, paano na siya? You can use the definition, difference in this dB between the minimum input level to a discern signal. Okay? Uh, at the input level that will overdrive the receiver. Okay? Or in terms, ang dynamic range, that is the ratio between ang ang dynamic range, they are in terms kasagaran sa voltage. Okay? So dynamic range is defined as the ratio between the maximum volume divided by the threshold. Okay? Kasagaran ang dynamic range na po ni siya sa digital communications. Okay. Next, fidelity. Okay. So, fidelity, that is a measure of the ability of a communication system to produce at the output of the receiver or an exact replica of the original source information. Okay. So, meaning to copy and to produce no the same information, original source information. That is the meaning of fidelity. Diba kabantay mo ng kwan? Have you heard you already know the term Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi, that is a uh, short name na siya for wireless fidelity. Okay? O, sa ngalan nga fidelity, so muna ang imuhang devices na ay Wi-Fi niya, pikas na po yung Wi-Fi, the same signal, no? The same signal, no? Or replicated signal. So that is the fidelity, common for meaning sa fidelity. So, producing, you are receiving the same, no? Or replica or the same form of the original source information. Okay. Now, any frequency, phase, or amplitude variations that will present in the demodulated waveform that were not in the original information signal are considered distortion. So, naay variation sa imuang amplitude, frequency, o phase, okay, nga makita dito sa demodulated waveform, yeah, and considered as not part of the original signal and original information signal are considered as distortion siya. Okay. So isa-isa na to ning tulo. Pag mo na may tulo ka distortion, the amplitude, frequency, and phase distortion. Okay. Pag mo iyong ka og phase distortion, okay, this phase distortion is not particularly important for voice transmission because the human ear is relatively insensitive to phase variation. Okay. So, however, phase distortion can be devastating to data transmission. Okay. So, predominant cause of phase distortion is filtering. So, both wanted and unwanted. Okay. So, in audio, no, in audible nga cases, no, meaning madungog sa tao, related to human ear, phase distortion is not highly important for the voice transmission. Pero, mas problema siya sa data transmission. Okay, meaning in wired, no? So, ang cause that is filtering. Okay? So, frequencies at or near the break frequency of a filter undergo varying values of the phase shift. Consequently, the cutoff frequency of a filter is often set beyond the minimum value necessary to pass the highest frequency of information signals. Okay? So, absolute phase shift, okay, is the total phase shift encountered by a signal, okay, and can be generally be tolerated as long as all frequencies undergo the same amount of phase delay. Okay. Then, kung na kay absolute phase shift, you have also the differential phase shift. Pag differential phase shift, that is the different frequencies, no, occurs when different frequencies undergo different phase shifts and may have detrimental effect on a complex waveform, especially if the information is encoded into the phase of the carrier as it is with the phase shift keying modulation. So this is referred to uh, digital modulation nga part. O kaning differential phase shift, no? So, phase distortion is problema siya sa digital communications, particularly in digital transmission. Okay. Now, kung, siya gingon, if phase shift versus frequency is linear, okay, delay is constant with frequency. So, if all frequencies are not delayed by the same amount of time, the frequency versus phase relationship of the received waveform is not consistent with the original source information, and the recovered information is distorted. Okay. So, dapat uh, they are the same, no, the time nga mag between the phase angle and the frequency. Okay? Uh, ano, mo kung dili siya ma-delayed siya, sorry. So kung ang frequency nimo dili siya ma-delayed by the same amount of time with this with respect to the phase angle, o say may tabo distorted ang imuhang information signal. Okay? So that is for the phase distortion. Okay. Now, in amplitude distortion, okay, it occurs when the amplitude versus frequency characteristics of a signal at the output of a receiver differ, okay, from those of the original information signal. Okay? Uh, this type of distortion, it results to a non-uniform gain in amplifiers and filters. Okay? And we have the frequency distortion. So it occurs, no, when the frequency is present in a received signal that were not present in the original source information. Okay? So it means it is harmonics, no? Harmonics and IMD, intermodulation distortion. 'Di ba pag IMD, that is cross products, no? So frequency distortion, that is a result of harmonic and intermodulation distortion, and it is caused by nonlinear amplification. Okay? So, nakay second order products, no? This is problem in broadband systems, no? Okay? And the third order products often fall within the system bandwidth and produce distortion that is called third order intercept distortion. Okay, so the third order intercept distortion, this is a special case of intermodulation distortion, and it is a predominant form of frequency distortion. Okay, so third order intermodulation components are the cross product frequencies produced when the second harmonic of one signal is added to the fundamental frequency of another signal. So money 2F1 plus minus F2, F1 plus 2F2, and so on. Okay? Cross product. So meaning ang frequency distortion kay composed na resulting having results of having a harmonics and intermodule harmonics or cross products. Harmonics, that is you have the fundamental the second order frequency, third order frequency, no, the second harmonics and third harmonics. Pag cross products, you have here the uh, ang isa kay 2 times sa first frequency, ang isa kay given the frequency. So meaning frequencies that are multiples, no? That is the sum and difference. That is the cross products. Okay. Now, frequency distortion can be reduced by using square law device such as FET in the front end of the receiver. Okay, so square law devices have a unique advantage over BGTs that they produce only the second harmonic and intermodulation components. Di ba? Sa katong chapter 2, the only device that is approximately have a second order, di ba? Or having a second order harmonics, that is the FET. Okay? So, second order ra gyud na ang FET. Remember, uh, the FET is having a second order function diba? Related to the drain current, diba? So, that is how to reduce the frequency distortion. Okay? Now, we have here the insertion loss. Okay. Pag mo yung kag insertion loss, that is a parameter associated with the frequencies that fall within the passband of a filter, and it's generally defined as the ratio of the power transferred to a load with a filter in the circuit to the power transferred to a load without the filter. Okay. So, mathematically speaking, insertion loss, that is ratio between the output power divided by input power. Okay? So, output power, that is power transferred to a load with filter. Input power, that is a power transferred to a load without the filter. Okay? So, pwede siya in decibel, no? In 10 log siya. Okay? Now, noise temperature and equivalent noise temperature. Okay? Because thermal noise is directly proportional to temperature, yes, the noise power, it stands to reason that noise can be expressed in degrees as well as watts or volts. Okay? So, from the noise power, that is N equals to KTB, you have here that noise temperature, that is T equal to N over KB. K is the Boltzmann constant, B is the bandwidth, N is the noise power. Okay? Then, equivalent noise temperature. So, equivalent noise temperature, that is the hypothetical value and cannot be direct measured. So, you cannot measure directly the equivalent noise temperature. Okay? So, it is often used in low noise, sophisticated radio receivers rather than noise figure. Okay, so the equivalent noise temperature, this is the indication of the reduction, no? Reduction sa imong SNR sa imong system as a signal propagates to the receiver. Okay? Typical values of equivalent noise temperature ranges from 20 degrees for cool receivers to 1000 degrees to noisy receivers. Diba? So, mas magkataas ang iyang noise temperature, so mas noisy ang imuhang receiver. So, that is, pag noisy ang imuhang receiver, you have a poor sensitivity and poor selectivity. Okay? So, equivalent noise temperature is defined as the product between the environmental temperature and the difference between the noise factor and 1. So, formula man siya from your chapter 1. Pero wala pa na ako na-discuss ang problem solving sa chapter 1. So, ako pa siyang gi-plaster ang PowerPoint. Okay? So, for the meantime, read the concept. Then, kung you want to advance the problem solving, much better. So, para dili na maglisod regarding to discuss the analysis. Okay, so this is the example for the equivalent noise temperature. Okay, ang giset nga environmental temperature is 17 degrees Celsius or 290 Kelvin. Diba? That is the room temperature. Okay? Now, we have here AM receiver. So, duha ka AM receiver types, coherent o non-coherent. Okay. So, pag mo yung kag coherent, that is synchronous, no? Synchronous receiver, the frequencies generated in the receiver and used for demodulation are synchronized to oscillator frequencies generated in the transmitter. That is synchronous. Pero pag asynchronous receiver, either no frequencies are generated in the receiver or the frequencies used for the modulation are completely independent from the transmitter's carrier frequency. Okay? So, that is the difference between the coherent and non-coherent. Another non-coherent detection that is often called envelope detection because the information is recovered from the received waveform by detecting the shape of the modulated envelope. Okay? So, pag synchronous, synchronize la sa frequency na generate sa receiver uh, that will be used for the modulation are synchronized the oscillator frequencies. Pero pag asynchronous or non-coherent, okay, the frequency generated in the receiver, okay, or the frequency in the demodulation, there are they are completely independent from the transmitter's carrier frequency or the oscillator frequency. Okay, so that is the difference between the two types of receivers. Okay, so mora na meaning sa coherent o non-coherent. Okay. Okay, so I think that will be all. Medyo taas-taas ato ang i-discuss. I will discuss the TRF and super heterodyne receiver on the next recorded video. Okay? So, that's it for the meantime. So, these two receivers are well known in the communication system. So, naa siya pros and cons. So, nganong si TRF, wala na kayo ginagamit. Nganong si super heterodyne ang mostly ginagamit for receiver, no, for AM receivers. Actually, we can use super heterodyne kung mogamit when you detect for the FM, no. So, and also we will discuss the components of the TRF and the super heterodyne. So sa next recorded video na. Okay, time check, it's 7:15 a.m. So that's the end time of this recorded video. So have a good day sa inyo and mayong buntag.